Okay, here we go. Hi, welcome back to If It Were Up to Us, the podcast where we have zero authority, no filter, and more Disney ideas than anyone asked for. I am your host, Chrissy. This is Samuel, and this is my co-host, Stephanie. Hey, Steph, how you doing tonight?
Hey, that was just so funny because when that started, you had no friend
I
with
had
you, and
no.
then all of a sudden, child.
Yep.
It's so funny.
Can you say hi, Sammy? Hi. Yep. You gonna hang out quietly? Okay. That's a microphone. Yeah, your microphone is, I think with Daddy. You want to go get it? Go get your microphone. Then you can help. No? Okay, go find your microphone. This one's Mommy's.
He's like, I'll take.
You're going to squeeze my microphone. Okay. I'm sure this sounds really good for all of our listeners. All right, go on. Go find your microphone.
I just feel like this is our life. Like, that's happening over there. Our little neighbor kid is at the door. And I have to text him because, long story short, he was moving away 2 days ago.
Oh.
And then he called us yesterday and said he's actually coming back. Like, they packed up and left, and then he just
Oh my
came
gosh.
back. So, it's just chaos.
It is. It's chaos. Complete and utter chaos. I'm going to yell at my husband for some help here. John! And now he's going to sing his way in. So anyways, how are you today, Stephanie?
Hey, I'm good.
Hey, go see Daddy.
Superstar. Come on. I know. But Mom's got to do something real quick.
What is this?
You take it with you and Dad will show you.
Oh my gosh. Hey, secret jar.
Secret jar. What's in the jar now? I want to know. Come back. No, I'm just
See you in a
kidding.
minute,
Love you.
Show us the jar.
It's a candle in a jar. Anyways, so yeah, it is. It's just chaos. Life is chaos right now. I was just telling Stephanie that it's been nuts at my house. I feel like even before the move, it was nuts. And then I kept saying, like, once we're moved, it won't be so crazy. And then it was like, oh, but now we have to get through a birthday party. Okay. Now I have to get through my sister's bachelorette party. Okay. And then it's like, it's crazy. So, yeah. But the bachelorette was amazing. We had a wonderful time, I think. And we went out on the lake and we rented a boat and we had a captain, and that was really cool and wonderful, except it was crazy windy on the lake that day. And so at one point we had like a legitimate open water rescue happening because we had one of those like floating pads that go out into the water and we all were sitting on it. And then one thing led to another and girls fell off the lily pad and we couldn't, they could not swim in the current. And so we had to go rescue them. And I was like, this is how we start the trip. That thank God they all had life jackets on. Everything was fine.
Thank goodness.
But we had a great time. We did a hat bar. So I now have like my own custom cowboy hat, which is really cool. Living in Texas for like 15 years now, so have never had one, so that's fun. Yeah, and then we had I feel like we're just going right into updates because that's like life. But we did get to go for the Universal Kids Resort preview day, and that was really fun. It was ungodly hot though, so but I will say, like, I know, like, I feel like it got a bad rap with like the theming, and people were saying like there's no shade and all of that. And here's what I'll say. Yes, like they were adding in stuff like from the videos I saw and what I saw when we went. They had painted and done, and so it was not as unthemed, I think. So I feel like people need to, if you have plans to go, don't not go because you think it's not going to be like super themed, because they were like adding in things. And even after, like, so we went Monday, it opened yesterday. And in between the, like, what I saw at opening and what I saw when we went, there were still things being done. Things were being painted, things were being put out. So, like, I feel like people took the preview days as like everything is ready to go. And that was very much not the case, which I do feel like Universal did kind of put that out there. And say like some things may not be operating or, you know, working at their full capacity or whatever. My overall opinion, it is a very, very cute park. Like, absolutely the perfect size park for the age group that it is set for. The rides, like, my youngest is 2.5 and he is 38 inches. And so he could do pretty much any ride there. Most of them, like, the height requirement is 36 inches. And you have to ride with a grown up or someone who is above like 48 inches tall. And so he could but he was height checked at every single attraction we tried to do. So the only caveat to that was my husband is a taller man and he had trouble fitting in some of the attractions. So because they're built for younger kids. So there were a couple of times where, like, had I not been there, he could not, like, Sam would not have been able to ride a ride. So that was interesting, I thought. And feedback that I shared with Universal when they sent me my survey. So, yeah, it's been, and then we went right back to work, which changed for me, and that was crazy, but I am figuring out my new role and excited to have this opportunity to keep working with the organization that I love, which is great. And I get to manage people again, which I'm really excited for. But that is a big change from what I'm used to. So I am thankful for a 4-day, we actually get Monday off, so 4-day weekend.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah. What is going on in your life?
I feel like nothing compared to you. I mean, I still have my work chaos. Every day is a new adventure. Stuff happened today and I was not there, which was fine. My daughter is 6, so I had that going on. And she insisted that I stay with her today, which, you know, made me feel good. But also I'm like, the person that watches you is your Nana, and she was coming to our house, and you could have just done the exact same thing. But hey, it's fine. It was nice to stay home. I got to do some things, and I did not want to go outside. The real feel got up to 102 today, and I texted Chrissy and told her to come get her weather, because I don't think in any instance anywhere in this world the real feel should ever be 102 degrees. Yeah, it's not necessary. And it's
I agree with that.
Outside. So I'm glad I didn't have to go outside in it.
Yeah, I am a staunch supporter of anything over like 98, right? The world has a fever and we should all stay home. So
we should stay home. Work should be closed.
Right, exactly. Work should be closed. We should just all, I was watching a like reel or something where somebody was like, how do you handle like Florida heat? And they were like, I've heard that it's like for people up north, like if that you just hunker down and stay inside until the weather's better. And that made me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's actually pretty true. So, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's just reverse.
Yeah. Well, today we have kind of a special episode because it's our anniversary episode. And I know we talked about this on the last one, and I really did have the best intentions to like DoorDash you a little bottle of champagne so we could toast. And then life got crazy and that did not happen. So, yeah, that makes me just a little bit sad that I couldn't make that happen. But I am really excited that we like get to celebrate this anniversary. We get we've been doing this for a whole year. And I'm sorry I'm a little distracted, but I made something and I'm trying to get it uploaded so I can share it with you. So I'm going to try to do
Did
that
you
as I
see
talk.
our secondary producer Frank let us know our live dropped off of Facebook?
Oh, that's
What
weird.
the heck? You know what? This is just life.
Yeah, I feel like this is accurate.
I don't know why it would. That's never happened before.
I know. Maybe some technical difficulties. Oh, yeah. So my sister just texted me the live dropped off of Facebook. Here's what I will say. Facebook lately has not been, like, I've had to
Something's
share
wrong
the
with it.
YouTube thing onto Facebook. So,
Yeah, and I
yeah.
couldn't even message you like a video today. It
Yeah.
would not load or connect.
Yeah.
So I think something's going on with Facebook. So maybe I'll just make a post like we know.
Yeah.
Join us
That is
on
not a
YouTube.
bad idea.
Okay, I'm gonna do that real quick while you do that. Aw, your sister's sweet.
What is she saying now?
What?
Should I be nervous?
No, it's sweet. I was being serious.
Okay, good. I'm trying to upload this. I'm usually a little bit better at, why is it only pulling up? This is very weird. Oh, because it's pulling up custom files. Hang on. Oh, that's why. Okay, hang on. We're going to find this. I know where it is now. Okay. All files. There we go. Open. Let's see if this works. Audio only files. Oh, because that's music. I don't need that.
Okay,
All right.
that reads in like an evil, like, I am sweet. Yes, Dominique. Like that's how that reads.
I am sweet. Yes. That actually tracks for her. So, that seems about right. New house, new tech problems. Yep. That's exactly right. You'll notice I'm having to hold my microphone because the mount broke. So, yeah. And last week nothing was connecting. So, at least we're a little step ahead.
Your mic wasn't actually broke, or did you get a new one?
No, the mic itself was not broke. It was just the stand. I thought it was the whole thing because it wasn't connecting through. But it turns out, no, it was just the stand. It just wasn't plugged in all the way. So.
And while we're on the topic of tech problems and things, at some point in this, my dog is going to go absolutely crazy because my husband was going to be driving back from our land on the riding mower and he loses his mind. So, if I mute myself for a while,
mine is currently standing at the door wanting into the office. And I would let him in, except my headphones don't reach all the way. So I physically cannot let you in. So don't look at me like that. Okay. Anyways, we know that you're really here for listening to us just chat with each other about everything that is crazy in our lives. But I really, truly am very excited for today's episode because, like I said on the last one, when we were talking about what was coming up next, we get to celebrate our 1-year anniversary of being a podcast. At the same time, our country is celebrating 250 years of doing this whole be your own country thing. And that is really cool. So, yes, I am extra patriotic today. It's been hard for me to get in the, like, go USA feel. I will say the World Cup has helped because we have all of these people from all of these other countries coming over to America and seeing all of the things that, like, we just take for granted and, like, they have been feeling like it's a huge deal. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to let this dog in. And sharing their joy. So that has made me feel a little bit better. But what I did to kind of improve my mood about celebrating and feeling patriotic was, once again, I reached into what is my safe place, which is Disney. And we have talked a little bit on the pod before about how Walt Disney really was like a patriot and was proud to be an American and his love of like Americana. And so I did a little tangent research in conjunction with the thing that I have at the end of this for our anniversary. But because we know you tune in for the Disney content, not just to hear about us, I thought that we could start the episode by sharing a little bit about Walt's like love of Americana and his patriotism. And I will say so I pulled together some clips. I am giving credit because I literally am reading some of these articles kind of word for word. So I'm going to cite them now. They came from a couple of articles that I found at the Smithsonian and at the Walt Disney Family Museum. So this information comes directly from them, and a lot of the wording comes directly from them, because I wanted to make sure that I was correct in what I was saying. So, oh my gosh, Frank says it's so hot there that 4th of July parades and stuff are being canceled. That's crazy. I will say, like, we don't actually, this tangent before we get into that, we have not been to see fireworks in a while because it is so warm and like crowded, and we have young kids and they don't really like the loud sounds. But for some reason, like this year, I was like, maybe we'll go. So we'll see how tomorrow pans out. But tomorrow and Saturday. So
I will be right back.
I was gonna say it's the dog, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, things are happening. Anyways, well, Frank, I'm sorry that your 4th of July parade and events are being canceled. Hopefully, you still get to find some way to celebrate. While we're waiting for Stephanie to come back, if anybody wants to throw what they're doing for 4th of July in the chat, we would love to hear what is happening. And Lauren, I know it's hot and humid there, but I have no sympathy for you. So it's just, sorry, friend.
Like, you and I better just shut up then.
Listen, I will take it that like if you're not used to it, like it feels hotter. I'm not discrediting that you're miserable. I'm just saying it's hot here too. So, yeah. Anyways, so I thought before we could dive into our anniversary special and the little surprise that I have for you, I thought we could just chat a little bit about that. So, if you're ready for a tangent.
I am.
Okay. Okay, so Walt's patriotism actually began at a pretty young age when he began to admire President Abraham Lincoln. And if that sounds familiar to you, because it was a thing that continued to follow him throughout his life. Walt was in the 5th grade, and he decided to pay tribute to his hero on Lincoln's birthday. And so according to Bob Thomas's book, Walt Disney, An American Original, Walt converted his father's derby hat into a stovepipe hat with cardboard and shoe polish, and borrowed his father's coat. And went dressed in this costume. Walt went and recited the Gettysburg Address for his class at school. And the principal was so impressed that Walt was asked to do it for all of the rest of the classes. And that ended up becoming an annual ritual until Walt graduated. Another example, as Walt grew up, was during World War I, which I don't know if very many people know this about Walt and his history. But when he was 16 years old, his brother Roy had actually already joined the Navy, and Walt too wanted to serve. In fact, he at one point said that he wanted to serve because he didn't want his grandchildren asking him, like, why weren't you in the war? Were you a slacker? Like, he really felt like that was a way to show his love for his country and to serve, a point of pride for him. So during that summer, Walt and his friend, Russell, and I'm probably butchering the last name, but I'm going to say it as Maas, M-A-A-S, decided to cross the border and try enlisting in the Canadian Army, which accepted younger recruits. However, Walt and his friend were immediately stopped when their mothers found out about their plan. They said, no, thank you. And so they ended up finding out about a volunteer group that took younger recruits called the American Ambulance Corps, which was part of the Red Cross. So although they were still 16, they did falsify their ages on the application. I'm not condoning this, putting that out there. And their plan actually worked. So they lied on their application. They were accepted. However, they had to get a passport. And it wasn't until they went to go get the passport, which required parental signatures. Walt's father refused to sign the passport application. He thought that that was basically signing a death warrant for his son. But Walt's mother, Flora, argued that she would rather sign the passport application and know where her son was instead of him running off and her not knowing where he was. So Flora ended up signing the passport by forging her husband's name. Again, we're not condoning this, okay? And then as soon as his mother left, Walt actually altered the birth date on the form from 1901 to 1900, which made him eligible to go. And it all worked. He did end up serving as an ambulance driver in France. But unfortunately for him, he ended up arriving in France after the armistice. So there were some kind of idle hours that he had, and he passed the time by cartooning. He would also draw for magazines at the time. He drew posters and caricatures for the soldiers to send home. He painted emblems on officers' jackets, and he actually decorated the canvas on his ambulance. He was pretty well known for that. After returning home, he really realized, after all of that, he really was inspired to become an artist. So he ended up getting a job at a commercial art studio. And that really, from that point forward, his career endeavors focused on animation, which led eventually to the establishment of his own studio. Now, from the creation of the the Disney Brothers Studio in 1923, you can even see in the cartoons that were being created at that point that it really echoed the American dream, this idealized version of what Americans wanted to be portrayed as, right? And so it was often set in kind of a rural American town. Wonder where he got that from. And they usually featured a hero, most of the time Mickey Mouse or one of his friends, whose strong work ethic and bravery in the face of risk, facing risk, would always have the little guy or the common man come out on top, right? That kind of that ultimate American dream. In 1941, prior to the United States' entry into World War II, he wanted to prove that the studios could play a wartime role, even though America was not yet officially involved in the war. So he ended up bringing in an engineer to the studio to help animators make training films, which were eventually put in use by the U.S. Armed Forces. Now, the day Pearl Harbor was bombed, December 7th, 1941, on that same day, Walt received a phone call letting him know that the United States Army was moving into his studio lot. So while they occupied the studio, they contributed in a variety of ways. And most of the ways that they did this was without earning a profit. So everything they did, completing all of this work for the United States government, was what Walt considered his contribution to the war effort. And so he did everything kind of at cost. So, for example, Disney designed more than 1,400 insignia for military units at an average cost of about $25 a piece. Walt had said at the time, he said, those kids grew up on Mickey, so I felt like I owed it to them. In addition, Disney characters would end up appearing on war bonds and posters in short patriotic films. One of those is The Spirit of 43, in which which stars kind of Donald Duck, on the importance of paying taxes. Okay. So Donald gets drafted, shows a cartoon waterfowl getting drafted. So it ends up that Donald Duck in particular became so recognized as an American symbol of the war, that in February of 1923, the New York Times called him a salesman of the American way. So in addition to all of the insignia and the other like films and stuff, Walt received calls from the Navy, the Army, the Department of Agriculture, and other government agencies wanting him to produce films and public service announcements. During the war, so from let me back up. So from their promotion of wartime allegiance and good citizenship, Mickey Mouse and Friend joined the ranks of the Statue of Liberty and Uncle Sam when it came to the visuals and the things that people would see during the wartime. During the war, production at the studio went from 3,000 feet of completed film per year to 300,000. Isn't that crazy? The studio was operating 6 days a week plus 2 nights of like 2 nights over, like in overtime. In fact, Walt was actually worried. So despite all of this, Walt was worried the studios couldn't keep up with the output that the like government and other entities were demanding with such a depleted staff, because a lot of his staff were drafted. So he suggested to the Navy and Army officers that were stationed there at the studio to invite the draft board members to visit, to show them much more than Mickey Mouse cartoons were being done. On their arrival, the draft board members needed to be cleared by Army and Navy intelligence as well as the FBI. So like this was, if you think about the studios, like it was in lockdown at this point, right? In addition, certain areas were off limits due to the top security work. So like this, it completely changed how the studios looked and felt and operated. So after their visit, the draft board determined that Walt Disney's work and the studio's work was so crucial that they actually sent drafted employees back to the studio in uniform to finish working on these projects. Isn't that crazy?
This is crazy.
They were like, we actually don't need you in the war. We need you drawing pictures, right? Like that's... Anyways, after the war and more than 50 years after dressing up as Lincoln, Walt was able to bring his childhood hero to life at the 1964-65 World's Fair. He had actually planned for an attraction called the Hall of Presidents, which we know Stephanie just loves and adores. So he was... Anyways, so he was planning for this attraction to be held or made at Disneyland. And so after a tour of the Walt Disney Studios and an impressive presentation on the Hall of Presidents, the president of the World's Fair negotiated with the state of Illinois to sponsor an exhibit that would feature the Abraham Lincoln figure. The exhibition was overwhelmingly popular, of course, that Walt Disney had his Imagineers construct an even more sophisticated figure for the parks. Prominently featured in the Opera House at Disneyland's Town Square, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln debuted on July 18th, 1965 as part of Disneyland's Tencennial celebration. Now, here's what I think was really kind of cool. So, Walt thought that this attraction was so important and something that everybody needed to see so much that he gave everyone a complimentary ticket to this attraction. Even though there were A through E ticket attractions, he did not have people buy. He said, each ticket read, "So young people may have a better knowledge of the man who played such an important part in American history. Walt Disney invites you to be his guest to spend a few great moments with Mr. Lincoln." Isn't that cool? Now, today, we have an updated state-of-the-art audio animatronic. We also have a Walt Disney audio animatronic. So then, of course, then after Walt's passing, we still see that tradition and passion for patriotism, Americana. We still see that throughout the parks. Fittingly, in 1976, as the nation celebrated 200 years of being a country, or the 200th year anniversary of Independence Day, the Disney parks staged a 15-month bi-coastal extravaganza of Americana, America on Parade, which the Disney company dubbed America's biggest and best bicentennial party. The festivities included special TV programs, books, records. The stars of the show were the park's daily parades with 50 floats and more than 150 characters representing the people of America. They were seen by an estimated 25 million people, making it one of the largest shared celebrations across the nation. And they were actually officially designated an official bicentennial event by the U.S. government when it took place. The grand show helped solidify the theme park's place in the minds of Americans as spaces not only for family vacations, but as ones where they could come together to share cultural and historical heritage. Now, today, there are few symbols of pure Americana more recognizable than the Disney theme parks. Walking down Main Street, visitors are made to feel as if they're stepping into a carefully curated moment of history, one chosen to fit the tidy narrative that highlights the nation's past and future commitment to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Walt shared that sentiment when he dedicated Disneyland in his opening day speech, when he said Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America. This part of the parks, and it really celebrates a simple story that tells us that through hard work and perhaps a little bit of pixie dust, an American can make their dreams come true. And so I think, at least for me, I'm trying to remember that feeling as we celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary.
That's really cool. I did not know any of that.
Mm-hmm. There is actually here in Dallas, and I have it on my list to go, at the Dallas Holocaust Museum. They have an exhibit right now about Walt and World War II, the Disney company and that kind of thing. And they have a bunch of the insignia and things that I just talked about. So they have a lot of that there at the museum, which I think is really cool. And I can't wait to go visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there you go. A little bit of history for us. So, and also, Walt, what a rebel, just forging government documents.
That's wild. And he got it from his mama because she's
forging. I know, right?
she's
like, well, I might as well know where he is. It's just crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah. So try to remember Walt's love of this country and the way that you feel when you step on Main Street, even though you might not feel that way about the country as a whole right now. Or maybe you do, and that's okay too. But we need to celebrate. 250 years of doing something is kind of cool.
It is.
And doing it well.
Get it right eventually.
Yeah. For most of the time. Also, not to plug another podcast, but I have been listening to World War II with Tom Hanks, which is really cool because it's Tom Hanks. But it's a retelling of it's from the History Channel. And so I've been listening to that. So that it was weirdly timely that kind of happened at the same time I was researching this. So yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's your tangent for today, or your research rabbit hole.
Hashtag research rabbit hole.
Hashtag it. I wish I could do that on the screen. I don't know how to do that yet. We'll figure it out. Anyways, so that's 250 years of our country, and however many years, gosh, 100 and I'm trying to do math and I can't do it. However many years it is of 100 years of the Walt Disney Company, 103 years of the Walt Disney Company. And Walt's love of
Thank
Americana.
goodness.
And I know, right? Thank goodness for that. Anyways.
Honestly, if his mom wouldn't have forged the signature, he wouldn't have realized that his true passion was cartooning.
Yeah. Or that, like, I feel like it entertained people throughout the war. So, like, he was like, oh, I could actually do this. Like, this could be something, you know?
Yes.
Otherwise, it's just doodles as he's doing other things. So.
Look at that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Again, not condoning forging things.
Right. Yeah, don't do that.
Just
find other ways to contribute to help do whatever. But yeah. So anyways. So okay, but that brings us to our anniversary, Stephanie.
wild.
Like a year ago, we put out our very first episode. And I was going back to like that time, and I know we talked a little bit about it on the last episode, that because it had popped up because we did pre-record a bunch of episodes, so that we had some like in the making, so that we could release them like weekly. If you've been hanging out with us for a whole year, let us know in the comments or the chat. But yeah, we started this, our first episode. I remember when, like, I set it to go live and I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is happening. It's out there. And I remember like refreshing to see like how many people had watched and how many people had listened. And like, yeah. So it was a very exciting time a year ago.
Look at us. I'm just proud of us because we said from the beginning, like, we didn't care how many people listened. If nobody listened, like,
yeah,
we're going to do it because we enjoy it and it's fun.
Yeah.
And I think the statistic, there was like a crazy one about how many podcasts are started like every day, but very few make it a year. And we're one of the few.
Isn't that, I mean, we don't make it every week. We do our darndest, but
we do.
Yeah, we've made it a whole year. And we're halfway through like our second season.
Look at us.
It's crazy. So I thought we could kind of look back a little bit. But before we do that, I have something that I put together to show you, to maybe spur some memories for you, and or not. I don't know. So I will give it a little play. You'll have to forgive me because this is not like, if you're watching, hopefully you're not watching on a computer screen and this shows up in the right dimensions, but it is created for like watching on your phone or a mobile device. So keep that in mind. But anyways, here's just a little something from me to you to say happy anniversary.
Oh gosh,
I'm glad that my first Disney trip or Disneyland trip was with you. Yeah. I think the first time I've been on Winnie the Pooh was when we got evac'd. Hi everyone, I am Chrissy. I am a lifelong Disney Parks fan who is obsessed with all things Disney history. I am a mom of 2 boys, a self-proclaimed chaos coordinator, and I honestly cannot wait to finally get my way, even if it's just imaginary.
I'm Stephanie, and unlike Chrissy, I didn't visit Disney until I was 25 years old, so I'm more of a newbie in the Disney world. That was 9 years ago, not to age myself. I'm also a mom, and I have a boy and a girl, and yeah, I'm super excited. I'm over the Festival of Fantasy Parade. It's been going on for far too long.
You hurt my heart.
Oh.
So if you'll indulge me, if you don't mind, I do have a little bit of a tangent to go on about Disney castles.
We should make this a thing, like Chrissy's tangent tagline. I don't know. We'll have to make it something. Okay, I'm ready for
We'll
it.
have to hashtag it.
Chrissy's gonna ride Flight of Passage for the first time right now. What do you think's an overrated snack?
Turkey legs.
Oh my gosh, yes. If it's hot, who's walking around with a big meat stick?
Like today.
In the summer.
Right.
Like.
There's this thing called the hug rule.
What do you like and not like about Canada?
The pavilion sticks. Hey, Chrissy here in Epcot without you. Still walking past because you're boring, Canada. Let's be honest, doesn't matter what time of year it is, if somebody says, hey, here's a Disney trip, are you gonna go? Yeah. We're going.
You'll laugh, you'll cry.
I know, right? It was
Also,
hard
I
for me
came
not
back
to
on a
put-
different side.
It's fine. It was hard for me not to include just like a bunch of videos of us
Oh my
crying.
gosh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because we're that cool that we just cry all the time. Anyways.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, happy anniversary. What have been some of your favorite moments of doing this podcast?
Oh, the turkey leg thing. And then it being like stitched
Yes.
by Dapper Manatee, right? Oh gosh, it was so funny. People are very passionate about turkey legs, whether that's good or bad. Oh,
I almost put the selfie in of us at the fire alarm. Yeah. But
Did
no,
I
that
tell
didn't make it
you
in.
that when my family and I were in Universal and we stayed at the Hard Rock that one night, the fire alarm went off? And we both
Maybe
said
you did.
that we weren't getting out of bed, and we didn't.
You're like, nope, not happening.
I said, I've been there, I've done that. We're going.
I don't see smoke. We're not moving.
But honestly, when the people like announce things, because they communicated there, they said to just stay in your room. So.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah.
I'm just glad they have
Oh, it's so funny, and that just made me like, oh, we need to go to Disney again together.
I know.
And
I was like, I clearly don't have enough videos of us together, so we have to get together.
Yes, and I feel like we need to go when we don't have like other, commitments, and we can just hang and chill and
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, when we're not pulling double duty to do like travel agent things, or I mean, we'll always be doing travel agent things, but conferences or places to be. Yeah.
Yeah, just more time.
Yeah. I agree. Let's just get that on the calendar now. We'll let you know when we're going, everybody, and you can come along.
It only takes a $200 deposit.
That's all it takes is a $200 deposit.
And I just canceled another Disney trip, so I can do it.
Hey, there you go. What perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. The turkey. It was so funny because at Universal Kids Resort we were walking around and someone crossed our path with a turkey leg, and John was like, "Oh, look, a turkey leg," and I was like, "Oh, meat stick."
And it's so hot right now, so I just was cracking up, and I can picture Frank like on the other side of his screen thinking the same thing. Like, no way would I be eating a meat stick on a day like today.
No. Nope.
Absolutely not. I actually think we could have flew to Florida and been cooler.
You're probably right.
So.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I think that's been one of my favorite things for sure. I think just like all of the behind the scenes stuff that honestly that unfortunately y'all don't get to see, but like the 45-minute breaks to try and find a hat an ear hat, or like the dogs barking, or my neighbor showing up while I'm wearing ears and me just like walking him through our house forgetting ears are
Yes.
on my head, or yeah, that's been
And
some.
then, yeah, recording an hour episode and then we talk for an hour and a half afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, it's
And then we
like,
say we have to go and talk for another half an hour.
right, yeah, I really should go. Oh, but did you hear? Or this is happening. Yeah, it's, yeah. We should just start
And I
recording
also-
the hour and a half chat.
We probably should. In the trees, like making that a thing, because honestly the trees have been like a thing since like we were in Disneyland and we were talking about the trees, and then when I was creating the map, the trees were a thing.
The trees were a thing.
Magic
Yes.
Kingdom.
Uh-huh.
And then so funny that they just released a thing a couple weeks ago about them taking the trees in front of Epcot away or whatever.
Yes.
And like it just
It's like
so
the trees.
funny.
The trees. Yes. 1,000% the trees. And benches. Trees and benches.
Yep. Trees and benches. Especially as we get older, like I'm gonna want a bench.
Yes. That was me. Like I was like, can I find somewhere to sit down in this like theme park? And thankfully there were spots, so I'll give it that. But yeah, I was like, can we? I don't want to sit on a curb or the ground. I would like to be able to easily get up and out of a ride vehicle. That would be ideal. Yeah. And it did, I will say, doing that video also took me back to like the editing process and like where I would cut things out, or like, especially those like first few episodes when we weren't as comfortable doing this. And like, we did have a lot of stuff that we would cut out and, just edit out. And then the times where we'd be like, oh, like, look at this funny face. And the times where I like took on picture of a fun, like you making a weird face on my phone. Like, I should have put those in here because there are quite a few of them.
I know. Now that we do this live so often, I don't go and like make the little clips of the, because I used to sit after you would upload into our drive and then cut things out so that we had shorts to put up and stuff like that. And now, darn it,
we don't have as much time for that anymore.
No. Both became too important at work.
Yeah, what is that about? Like, seriously. Guys, don't girl boss too hard.
No, don't do it.
Start becoming responsible for things.
Yeah. And people, apparently.
Hey, you have a job. Also, you're managing people. Cool. Love that for me.
That did make me want to go and, like, watch all of them in, like, YouTube format. Piece together something funny. Maybe I'll like dedicate a day to do that. Because what happens is you get distracted. So I'll be watching one, and then instead of me going in and just like quickly grabbing things out of it, I'll sit there and listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And some of our episodes were long back in the day.
I have a tiny human pressing his face against the window.
And here's a behind the scenes thing. When you're going on your tangent, husband came back with the lawnmower, and I also at the exact same time realized I locked the back door when I let the dog out. So I was like, good luck getting your 6-year-old daughter to unlock that for you. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm lucky that he just nailed his head on the door.
Oh no.
He bonked.
Oh, I won't cry.
He's sad. He's sad. He tired.
Yes.
This longer days in summer times is really wreaking havoc on our schedule.
Hard. Yes.
Yeah.
Impossible to get them to go to bed. And then in the morning is a nightmare. I get you. Yep,
I agree.
I'm very excited tomorrow. My husband's home. I'm going to just get out of bed and go to work. I don't have to do anything.
You're like, bye. See you later. We have the day off at work, and thankfully, so does my husband. So, but we have to go over to the old house and mow the yard, take care of a few things. So I said, "You go do that. I'll take the kids to the splash pad, and we'll reconvene." So I'm excited for that. Okay, what? I had a whole list somewhere, and now I've lost it, of questions that I was going to ask you about our first year, and now I've lost it. So we're gonna wing it.
Okay.
Is there anything that you would like to see, or anything that you would have changed about season 1?
I wished we would have kept up with the maps, and by we I mean me, because it was fun. And honestly, the Magic Kingdom one turned out so good.
I think so too.
But it was difficult, especially because we were, pulling things out of so many different international parks. And if people don't know, either Shanghai or Hong Kong, their map is like 2D or 3D or something, where it's like really weird.
Yeah.
And so when you pull stuff out of it, it just didn't look good. And then, we just were busting through the episodes so fast, it was hard to. So I wish we would have kept up with the maps.
Yeah.
And yeah. What about you?
That. Yeah, I feel like I kind of feel like I wish we would have done all the parks and not had so many kind of fluff episodes in between. I realized that was life, and we had to do some of those kind of things in the in-between. But at the same point, all of those fluff episodes kind of led to what we enjoyed doing about and have now created season 2 on. So, but I do feel like there is a little bit of me that's like, oh, I wish we would have kept on more consistently with the park redesign, because it's even now I still feel like I could go back and change a bunch of things. But yeah.
And I think the worst thing is I think for viewers and listeners, it's hard to follow what's going on when we do so much in one episode too.
Yeah.
We probably should have just picked a land and just this is what we would have put in it. Maybe not necessarily the layout. The maps were cool, and maybe we could have just done a blurb of what we would have put in.
Yeah.
Because it's hard and to explain it. But the one thing it did make me want to do is go to some of the international parks, even though the thought of traveling to all of those scares me, just because of all the things.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the lengthy portion of travel to get to those parks was already scary enough, and now just the state of the world is a little bit more intimidating. And I think I'll wait for just a little while longer. But eventually it is on my list. I do want to do that.
Do them kind of together. When the kids are old enough to be more self-sufficient, just do it all in one big trip.
Yeah.
Because at least some of them, maybe Japan be separate, but I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like you could do Shanghai and Hong Kong.
And I was just watching somebody that used to be in the agency. There's special rules about going in between that 2 areas of China or something. And so all of that logistics is intimidating me, because I don't plan international trips besides the Caribbean. So I agree. But you know what I was thinking? I had this thought yesterday driving home from work. Buc-ee's needs to build campgrounds near their gas stations.
Oh.
I feel like they need to tap into the campground thing. I just pictured Jellystone.
Yeah. That's exactly where my head went to.
Buc-ee's has that, and they could do it. They could do it better.
Ooh, girl. If it were up to
Yeah,
us, we would add a campground to Buc-ee's.
yeah, and cabins and stuff, because I'm not tent camping
Mhm.
and I don't want to buy an RV. So
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
need a cabin. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, season 3. What would you change about Buc-ee's?
What we would if it were up to us about
Spoiler alert.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. What other random roadside destinations do you want to see us fix? Is the real question. I would do something with the McDonald's that's over the highway in Tulsa, or just before Tulsa, on 44 to get down here from Missouri. I would do something with that because that's awesome. We stop there every time. Yep.
You'll have to take a picture. I'll have to look it up.
When we go home and drive in October, I will take a picture and I will show you. So.
Yes, we need to know.
Mm-hmm. I shall show you the McDonald's. They should put a Buc-ee's over the highway. Damn. That'd be good. But then I feel like then you'd have to add 18-wheelers, so whatever. Okay, any other memories, thoughts, things you want to share about this last year?
I feel like I wished I would have just 2 times speed all of our episodes so I could have more thoughts.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy to think of how much we've done in a year. I think that's what kind of caught me, because not only did we redesign the parks, but we had all the episodes where we just shared and talked about all the things. And we had we had the trip in November, and so I feel like we did so much in a year, and that's what kind of is crazy to me. And then I think back to even just past the March before that, when this whole thing got started with just a conversation in a theme park.
Yeah.
And it just makes me feel like we need to go back to the theme park so we come up with better ideas. You know what I mean?
Right. Because that's where we do our best thinking, I think.
It is. It is. Only at midnight, while filming a podcast right before the fire alarm goes off, do we have our best ideas.
Honestly, I want to do more of those. On location,
Yes.
midnight, giggling rants, because it's just so funny.
It is so funny. We're funny people.
I think we are. Together, we are just hilarious, at least in our own minds.
Yeah. We're good company, even if it's only for each other. You know?
Yeah.
I think my thought to wrap it up before we get into what's coming up next is just how thankful I am for the path that led us to this podcast, but also that you were willing to jump into something with me that is totally crazy, that we'd never done before. And I am, because from all of that, it started as 2 travel agents who barely knew each other going to a conference and just instantly becoming friends, which is a weird thing to happen when you are our age and adults. You just don't find friends that fast. No. But we did. And then for you to just be yeah, I mean, I don't really know her, but let's do it. You know what I mean? You do get to know someone when you've roomed with them for a few days. I'll say that. Yeah. But, I'm just thankful that and I feel like we truly have become such good friends through this whole process. And you're not just my travel agent friend. You're not my podcast. We are genuine friends who, love and support each other. And so I'm thankful for everything that this podcast and that trip in March of 2025 brought us, because it brought us to here. So I can't wait to see what the next year brings.
Seriously. I feel like it's going to be epic. I can feel something crazy.
It's happening. Yeah. Yeah. Especially if we can continue this on and my kids get a little older and they're less needy and we can do some of those things without them, or bring them with us because it won't be so crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Frank. Frank says he really enjoyed all of it and learned a lot through my talks on history. And he said, even being a TA, I still feel like I have a lot to still learn and do. And I mean, that's the whole point of it, right? The parks are ever changing, and yeah, you can't ever do it all, even as a travel agent, as someone who has the privilege to go multiple times.
And they'll change things before you even get a chance to do them.
Yeah, they're already changing things. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So, okay, well, that brings us, I think, to what comes next. And I am super excited to share. We have been planning and trying to make this happen for a little while, but our next episode is going to be on Thursday, July 9th. We're back for another live episode, and we'll be bringing along some of our podcast friends for an episode where we're going to talk about our unhinged opinions on all of the Disney planning advice we think needs to end, and just like general overall unhinged opinions about all of the things Disney and probably theme parks, and who knows where the conversation will take us with these two. So get ready for a special edition of If It Were Up to Us, because we're bringing over the guys from Around the Fire Pit for an episode of If It Were Up to Around the Fire Pit. And like I said, we're going to talk about all the things, all our unhinged opinions. I'm sure Dave will have plenty of questions, and because he's so good at those, he does them on the regular. So, yeah. That's coming up on the 9th. And then after that, what do we have? I don't know. We've got a couple of really cool episodes. We're going to be talking about planning a day at Disneyland. So if you're a Disneyland fan and you listen to this podcast and you think we talk way too much about Disney World, we're going to give the other coast some love, and talk about our brief, we'll do maybe a brief history or just an overview of what the Disneyland Resort looks like, how it differs from Disney World, and maybe plan the ultimate Disneyland day. I don't know. We'll see where life takes us. And that'll also be the anniversary of Disneyland's opening. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, look at that.
Yep. And then after that we have a fabulous festival versus episode where we're going to be pitting flower and garden versus food and wine. So if you have opinions on that, let us know. So yeah. Also, we're going to put it out there again. If you have opinions on planning advice you think needs to end, or anything that you want to share anonymously or not anonymously with us for our next episode, please put them in the comments, put them in the chat. You can also check our socials for our anonymous tip line, where you can share your thoughts. I had it somewhere. No, I can find it real quick and I will give that number. Hang on, because I know anonymous. Okay. So if you want to text or call, a message in, a voice message, whatever, the number to reach us for our anonymous tip line is 814-402-4155. You can text that number. You can leave us a message, a voice note, whatever. Let us know what your unhinged thoughts are, your hot takes, your someone told me to do this and I regretted it instantly kind of planning tips.
Even if it's something we've said.
Yep, we want to know. Also, if you have any opinions about things we've shared and you think we're very wrong, let us know.
Yes.
Because I'm sure the guys will next week.
Real fun. Oh, yeah.
They're going to be like,
I gotta mentally prepare myself.
Yeah, it could get weird. I'm not going to lie. But we're excited to have them join us in a little collaboration, because I have always enjoyed listening to their conversations. I hope they enjoy listening to ours. I don't know. But I am excited to talk to them and get their opinions and Yeah.
All right. If it were up to us,
Well, you'll just have to listen.